Today on September 26th, Archangel Michael cries from heaven, warning that your most awaited miracle will be revealed in just 30 minutes. He does not ignore it. Your destiny depends on you listening to him now. My beloved child, before you blink, heaven has already leaned over your name. The ink is still wet on the page where your miracle was signed, sealed, and stamped with light. For 30 quiet minutes the gates will stand open, 30 heartbeats of heaven measured in your breath, and Archangel Michael is crying not with fear but with fierce love, because he knows how easily a soul can scroll past the very door it has waited years to find. Listen. Today, let this moment wrap around you like a warm shawl from your grandmother's hands. If you were meant to miss this, you would never have found it. But you did, which means something holy is on schedule for you right now. I can feel the weight you've been carrying, the unspoken chapters you tuck under your smile. Heaven is not embarrassed by your questions. God is not offended by your delays. Michael stands over you the way a warrior stands over a candle in the wind, shielding the flame with his body, whispering, "Not today." His tears fall like oil on the hinges of a stubborn door, and every tear loosens what refused to move. You have been faithful in small rooms. Now the hallway of your life is filling with footsteps you cannot see, rearranging furniture you never knew was in the way. This is the minute that unmakes the maze. Come close. Place one hand on your heart and the other on your future. Yes, I know you can't touch tomorrow, but you can touch agreement. Breathe in and say softly, "I receive what I was too tired to chase." Feel that. The quiet electricity. That's not hype. That is resonance, the way truth hums when it finds its owner. Michael says your waiting has not been wasted time. It has been marinade. The flavor is deep now. A moment is ready. If you look carefully, you'll notice 3 small signs within these 30 minutes, a name that repeats, a light breeze in a closed room, and your phone lighting up even when no message has arrived. They are not coincidences. They are breadcrumbs, and each one leads you back to a table where your chair has always been saved. Minute 30 to 25. The sky leans in. The first 5 minutes are a washing. Old noise rinses from the soul. All the versions of you that learned to survive step back, and the one that is meant to thrive steps forward. Don't argue with joy when it knocks. Don't apologize for the room you're about to enter. Look at your hands. For years they have held the rope. Now they will hold the reward. Michael's voice, low and steady, says, "Stop rehearsing loss." There is nothing noble about expecting disappointment. Lift your head. Even your posture prophesies. Minute 24 to 20. The letter you never mailed is being read in heaven. The confession embedded in your silence. God heard it. The apology you deserved but never received. God weighed it. The dream you filed under maybe next year. God circled it in red and wrote now. I see keys, 4 of them, hanging on a nail no one noticed. One is for a conversation that heals what you thought was permanently crooked. One is for creative ideas that feel like remembering more than discovering. One is for a door that needs no recommendation letter because God Himself is the recommendation, and the last key fits a lock on your own mouth to close every sentence that starts with, "But what if it doesn't work?" You will not talk yourself out of what grace has escorted into the room. Minute 19 to 15. Your tie line is being untangled. The delay was not denial. It was choreography. Michael spreads his wings over the calendar of your life and the numbers rearrange themselves into a melody. Where others danced early and got tired, you will arrive rested and glide. The friend who misunderstood you will remember who you are. The opportunity that ghosted you will circle back, but you will not cling to it with hunger. You will bless it with clarity. Your prayer life is about to feel like walking into warm light. You won't need to shout. The room already knows your name. Minute 14 to 10. The atmosphere thickens. This is where resistance used to show up, where you used to sabotage the approaching good with worry. Not today. When the mind tries to sprint in circles, gently place one sentence in its hands. If God brought me here, it is safe to be here. Say it again. Feel how the floor steadies. Michael lays a sword at your feet. Not for fighting, but for severing the last thin cords that tied you to lesser versions of yourself. You are not addicted to almost anymore. You are not married to maybe. You are engaged to completion. Minute 9 to 7. A memory rises. The one that used to taste like copper and smoke. It doesn't sting this time. That's called transfiguration. What once pressed you down had been assigned to press you forward. In this window, forgive what borrowed your nights. Forgiveness is not pretending it didn't happen. Forgiveness is choosing that it doesn't get to happen inside you anymore. As you let go, notice how your breath deepens. The lungs of your spirit expand. It was made for messages, for meetings, for money, for miracles. Nothing occult or spooky. Simply right things in right order at right time because you are finally standing in the right place. Minute 6 to 5. The hallway gets bright. I hear paper. An envelope sliding under your door, on the outside, your first and middle name. The one only family uses. On the inside, a simple sentence. It's time. You have asked God for paragraphs and He's answering with a clock. Stop counting the reasons and count the minutes. Prepare like you've already been picked. If you need to clean a corner, clean it now. If you need to draft the message, draft it now. If you need to drink water, drink it now. Faith is not laziness in fancy clothes. Faith is movement choreographed by trust. Minute 4. Michael touches your shoulders. The weight falls through the floor like sand through fingers. You realize the heaviness wasn't punishment. It was proof you were carrying something too large alone. Now feel the sharing. Angels don't take selfies. They take shifts. You are covered. Minute 3. You'll sense a nudge to be kind in a very specific way. Send the note. Make the call. Bless the stranger. Tip the barista. Post the encouragement you keep in drafts. Obedience in small things unlocks obvious doors. A miracle you want is braided into the miracle you will be for someone else. Heaven loves circular economies. Minute 2. God's voice passes through your ordinary like sunlight through open blinds. You won't hear a thunderclap. You'll hear a sentence as soft as your own conscience. Stop shrinking to fit rooms that cannot hold your tomorrow. Write it down. Put it where your eyes stumble on it. The sentence will escort you through the next doorway like a hand on your back. Minute 1. The room goes quiet. Your heart becomes a drum. Michael lifts his face. No more tears now. Just a smile that sounds like brass and fire. He says, "We are here." You've been waiting for a miracle to knock. Listen closely. The knocking you hear is your courage from the other side. Ogun. And now, a simple prophetic act. Take a small piece of paper. Write your full name. Under it, print these words. I give heaven permission to finish what heaven started. Fold it 3 times. Not because folding is magic, but because agreement has a shape. And place it somewhere you consider sacred. A Bible. A journal. Beneath a candle. Beside a photo of someone who believed in you first. As you place it, whisper, I stand in my yes. You will not be tested on this like a school exam, you will be escorted through it like a guest of honor. Hear how your future speaks. It does not bark orders. It hums. It hums in the kitchen while you rinse the cup. In a ride to work. In the queue at the shop. The hum grows into a tune you can follow even with eyes closed. Where fear would make you hurry, peace will make you precise. Where shame would make you small, gratitude will make you generous. Where scarcity would make you clutch, abundance will make you wise. You are not entering a season. You are entering yourself. Child of God, let me say this plainly so your spirit can rest. You are not late. You are landing. The hour hand of heaven S1 to your name. The delay that mocked you is about to introduce you, publicly, to the purpose it produced in you privately. The people who really matter will recognize you without you needing to explain. The rooms that don't fit will lose their power to offend you. The doors that once creak will open as if they were waiting for your particular knock. And you will carry yourself with the softness of one who has wrestled in one without wounding anyone else on the way. Before these 30 minutes end, promise yourself one thing. When it comes, you will not hide your blessing out of fear that others will misunderstand. You will steward it with humility and joy. The way one holds a newborn, careful, odd, but never apologizing that life has arrived. And you will testify without theatrics. When it was my time, nothing could keep it from me. When it wasn't, nothing could force it. I am safe in the timing of God. If your eyes are wet, it's okay. Tears are the body's way of making room. If you're calm instead of excited, that's also okay. Peace is louder than hype. If you suddenly feel like cleaning your desk, finishing the application, answering that email, or forgiving that person, that is not random. That is heaven turning the doorknob from the inside. Meet it from the outside. Michael's last word to you for this moment is simple and unstoppable. Rise. Rise into the phone call you were meant to receive. Rise into the creativity you were born to release. Rise into the companionship that matches your becoming. Rise into work that holds your heart without stealing your soul. Rise because you are not the understudy of your own life. You are the lead heaven cast at the beginning. The curtain is lifting. The lights are warm. The script is already inside you. Walk out and speak from your scars the way stars speak from their burns, quietly, beautifully, forever. And when your miracle shows its face, because it will, come back to this very moment in your memory and smile. Remember the warrior who cried over your name and the God who wrote it in bright ink. Remember the way your chest lifted when you said yes. And if this message held your heart and helped you stay until your door opened, show love back to the work that brought it to you. Tap the super thanks and choose the $20 option to partner with this voice so we can keep lighting the path for you and for others who are arriving right behind you. Leave a comment that simply says Amen so I know you were here and you're ready. Now go. Soft shoulders, steady eyes, open hands. The 30 minutes are almost up. The miracle is not running away. It is running toward you. My beloved child, we are not done because grace does not end at the door. It begins there. You felt the latch lift, you heard the hinge sing. You stepped across the threshold. And now the room you've prayed for is breathing around you like a living garden. Notice how the air has weight and warmth. How the very space seems to recognize you. This is not the waiting room anymore. This is the welcome. Michael's tears have dried into a shine on the floor and every gleam is a footprint of favor pointing you deeper in. Do not rush. Let heaven set the pace. Miracles don't like to be chased. They like to be received. Stand exactly where you are and let the new light memorize your face. There is a table against the far wall, simple and strong, with your name carved into the edge the way childhood friends write into tree bark, permanent, unshy. On the table are 3 things that look ordinary on purpose. A glass of water, a folded cloth, and a sealed envelope. Take the water first. You have been thirsty for years in places that never admitted you were dry, rink until the ache in your chest sighs. That's your soul learning the taste of permission. Now take the cloth. It is not for wiping tears, it is for wiping lenses. Gently clean the way you see yourself, your work, your relationships, your next step. Vision fogs when we hold our breath for too long. Exhale. Finally, hold the envelope. Its paper is thin but it carries a serious softness like a lullaby on a leather head. Open it. Inside you will find a sentence written in a hand you recognize and can't place at the same time. Carry only what carries you. Read it again. Feel how it sorts your whole life in a second. Bags you kept out of politeness are already walking themselves to the door, Wadford. Michael falls into step beside you, quiet, vast, content. He does not need to prove his strength. The room knows. He gestures toward a window and the glass clears from the inside. You see it now. The path that brought you here was not a straight line. It was a spiral staircase. You kept passing the same scenery at higher altitudes and didn't notice the rise, That's why the view feels familiar and brand new at once. You did not fail. You ascended. Look again through that window. There are two paths ahead. One is loud and busy and shiny with quick applause. The other is bright the way a morning is bright, gentle, patient, precise. Choose the morning. It will not make you small. It will make you true. And true does not run out. You will sense a soft instruction to tidy one corner of your life, the drawer with papers, the digital folder with drafts, the message thread you never answered. Do it now. In your heart. With your plan. Order is not punishment. Order is how heaven hugs a future. As you put things in their places, listen to what the room whispers back. You are ready. Not perfect. Not spotless. Ready. There's a difference, and ready is the one that opens gates. Ready says, well, I don't know. I will learn what I don't have. I will build what I can't control. I will bless and let be. Ready raises its hand when grace takes attendance. There is kindness moving toward you that you did not schedule. You will recognize it because it will feel like fresh air in a closed story, a collaborator whose voice feels like home. A message that arrives without you having to perform for it. An invitation that doesn't want to use your gift and forget your heart. Don't interrogate it with old suspicions. Introduce it to your new boundaries. Yes, both can live in the same room. Soft welcome and wise walls. That is adulthood's elegance. You don't have to choose between open-hearted and safe. You get to be both, and heaven is proud of you for learning this without becoming hard. Brea beloved. The ground under your feet is changing texture. From gravel to grass. From grass to a woven rug. From rug to polished wood that sings when you walk. This is what alignment sounds like. Subtle music under simple steps. You won't need to force doors anymore. They will swing because you finally approach them as the person they were built for. You are not auditioning. You are arriving. Notice how your shoulders have stopped trying to touch your ears. Notice how your jaw has quit its quiet war. These are not small details. This is the artistry of peace. Let me place language in your hands for the days ahead. Speak like this when the old fear tries to host you. I choose the room that chose me. Speak like this when delay hums in the hallway. Timing serves me, not scares me. Speak like this when loneliness behaves like a fact. Companionship is not late. It is precise. Speak like this when money tries to masquerade as master. Provision recognizes my name. These are not slogans. They are handles. They let you carry what used to carry you. Michael leads you to another door, smaller, painted the quiet color of trust. On it hangs a wooden sign with 2 words burned in a handwriting you somehow remember from your best days. Create here. When you open it, you step into a studio without clutter, a sanctuary without shushing. Everything you need to build your next chapter lives in this room. And none of the noise that used to drown you is allowed inside. Ideas will arrive here like birds that know your window. You won't have to bribe them with panic or chase them with caffeine. They will sit on your shoulder and hum until you can hear the melody of your assignment. Write it down. Not perfectly, faithfully. Drafts are a kind of prayer. You will notice how the new season asks you to take gentle care of your body without turning it into a project. Drink water like it's expensive and you're rich. Sleep the way gardens do, soft, regular, unashamed. Move your body not to punish it for existing but to thank it for staying. Feed yourself steady foods and steady words. Let laughter find you. Laughter is not a betrayal of your pain. It is proof your heart can hold more than one color at a time. Healing that can't laugh tends to be rehearsing. Healing that laughs is booming. Here is a telephone in the corner of this studio, the old kind, with a cord that curls like a question mark. It will ring at the right time. Don't stare at it. Work while you wait. The call is coming, but the miracle is not the ring. The miracle is that you will answer as your present self, not your past one. You won't undersell your voice. You won't explain your blow. You won't apologize for the price of your peace. You'll say, "Yes, I can." And you'll also say, "No, I won't." And both sentences will be wholly in your mouth. This is maturity, the courage to accept the right things and decline the wrong ones, without writing a 3-page essay to justify either. And now, lean close. Here is a blessing waiting in the doorway like a coat being held open for you. Receive it without fidgeting. May your name feel like home to you. May your work love you back. May your friendships have the ferocity of honesty and the gentleness of rest. May your home learn your future and rearrange itself to welcome it. Closets clearing for new clothes that fit your becoming. Shelves opening for books that teach your bright next, quarters ready for laughter that stays late and cleans up after itself. May money find you without making you forget yourself. May opportunities arrive without demanding your soul as deposit. May your mornings hold you the way a grandmother holds a baby, brave with tenderness. And may all the things you thought were lost return in their healed forms, some as memories that no longer sting, some as people who finally learned how to love, and some as better than versions you're proud to receive. If doubt knocks, and it will, because doubt enjoys good neighborhoods, don't argue with it at the door. Hand it a chair outside, offer it water, and go on living your joy. You do not have to win every debate to keep your miracle. You only have to keep moving. Tiny sturdy steps, a little each day. Repetition until the rhythm becomes refuge. Let your calendar turn into a quilt of simple obediences. Send the email, steward the craft, bless the body, hank the check, water the plant, call the friend, read the page, walk the block, breathe the prayer, light the candle, close the screen, open the window. This is not boring. This is how altars are built in ordinary time. Look at you now. Not performing for love, bartering with it, not betting doors, befriending them, not trying to prove you deserve good, learning how to host it. Michael watches with that satisfied softness angels get when the assignment is landing. This, he says, is what we saw along. And you, finally, see it too. The you that is not possessed by the past. Not threatened by the future, not afraid of the present. The you with a steady gaze and kind hands. The you who prays like conversation and works like worship and rests like trust. The you who knows how to celebrate without needing an audience. Before we close this part, do one more simple act. Take your phone, open a blank note, and title it Evidence. Under it, write today's date in one sentence about what shifted as you listened. It can be tiny. I am clenched. I emailed. I threw away the old list. I stood up and stretched. Add to this note every time a break-em appears, a small money, a kind message, a lifted mood, a finished task, a brave no, a clean yes. In a week you will have a chapter. In a month you will have a map. In a year you will have a book you didn't know you were writing. This is how you become fluent in goodness. And when this message has steadied you, nourished you, and kept you from skipping the very doorway your heart begged for, honor the work that honored you. Tap the super thanks and choose the $20 option so we can keep crafting these soul-bright rooms for you and for the ones you love. Then whisper in the comments Amen, not as a spell, but as agreement. So I know you were here. You received, and you are ready for the next room. My beloved child, lean in once more because the moment you said yes, a second door unlocked inside the first, and what felt like a finish line became a hallway of soft beginnings. You are not running anymore. You are being escorted. Listen to the floor, how it sings under your feet when you choose what's true. That sound is favor recognizing its owner. Michael walks beside you without hurry, like sunrise taking its time, like oceans that know they cannot be rushed. He nods toward a quiet archway where a golden thread stretches from one side to the other, and the thread hangs a single word: fulfillment. You don't have to jump to reach it. You only have to stand at your full height. Lift your chin. Let your spine remember its design. This is what arriving feels like. No fireworks, just a deep bell ringing inside your ribs, steady and kind. There is a shelf to your left filled with little glass jars, each labeled with a virtue you learned the hard way. Patience, boundaries, courage, rest, honest no, gentle yes, finishing, following through. Heaven is not wasteful. Every difficult season held out ingredients, and you gathered them even when you didn't know why. Now the recipe calls your name. Open the jar called finishing. Smell how clean it is. Today it will flavor everything you touch. Where you once left projects mid-air, you will land them with grace. Where you once paused from fear, you will pause only for peace. Where you once needed a push, you will feel a pull, quiet, undeniable, native to who you are becoming. Straight ahead is a long table with a linen runner like a river. And the runners sit for objects that look like instruments from an ancient classroom: a compass, a ruler, a quill, a seal. Michael's hand rests near them, but he does not touch, he waits for you to choose. Take the compass first, set its point in the present, and draw a circle so wide it includes everything you love and everything you're called to serve. Its circle is your field, no chasing what's outside it, no starving what's inside it. Now the ruler. Not to measure your worth, but to measure your days. You do not need longer days, you need cleaner ones. Mark morning time for things that feed your soul before the world can nibble at your edges. Mark evenings for gentle endings. Not endless scrolling. The quill is next, it writes best when dipped in quiet. Draft the message, the plan, the pitch, the prayer. It doesn't have to be perfect, it has to exist. Finally, the seal. Warm it over a candle of attention and press it over your commitments. Your yes is a precious document, stamp it once, protect it well. You will notice a soft come building, the kind that used to scare you because it felt like pressure. It is not pressure, it is permission, gathering. Old habits will call from the hallway, procrastination will wave a familiar hand, overthinking will enter with a clipboard, self-doubt will clear its throat like a teacher. Smile at them all the way kindness smiles at a child who is simply too loud for the library. Whisper, "Eschich, we're reading now." They will learn your new volume, they will begin to like the quiet too. That is how transformation works, it happens inside your tone, then it happens everywhere else. Michael brings you to a window that opens onto a garden planted with appointments. Dates are written in dew on the petals, coffee with a future ally, an email that lands in the exact hour you can receive it, a walk where the idea finally introduces its name, a meeting you almost canceled that becomes a bridge. The garden routes itself around your peace. You no longer have to uproot yourself to chase what's already growing toward you. But there is a gate, and on the gate hangs a small wooden plaque. Tend what tends you. That is your schedule now. You will become skillful at recognizing what waters you back. Not everything that wants your attention deserves your attendance. Turn right. There is a mirror with a narrow frame, the kind you could have missed because it doesn't shout. When you stand before it, the reflection does not critique, it converses. It shows you carrying your calling lightly like a candle in a steady hand. It shows your eyes unafraid of kindness. It shows your mouth practicing gratitude until gratitude becomes muscle memory. Say this out loud to your reflection, softly, like a vow you mean. I accept the version of me that my answered prayers require. Feel the click. That is alignment. You will not sabotage the door by arriving as who the door was never built to hold. You are growing the capacity to keep what you receive. That is wealth. Now, a room of names, simple, beautiful, sacred. On the walls hand the people who will walk this next stretch with you. Some are old friends returning healed. Some are new friends who feel like old souls. One or two are mentors who will not try to own your story, but will love to watch it widen. You will also see names that once took up whole walls fading into soft gratitude. You don't have to announce their exit. Love does not need press releases to be real. Bless what brought you here and let it land where it belongs. Somewhere in this room is your own name written larger than you've ever allowed. Lot louder, larger, because you stopped writing it small to make others comfortable. Touch it with your fingertips and say, I'm here, heaven answers we know. There is a desk in the corner with a lamp that glows like a warm thumbs up. On the desk is a folder stamped with 4 letters. PPP. Presence. Bebel. Provision. Purpose. This is the order, child. Presence first. Begin your day where your soul breathes the easiest. No theatrics. Just honest minutes where you feel seen by God. People next. Place your best energy in the relationships that make you more truthful and more kind. Provision. Let money be a servant that organizes options, not a master that organizes anxiety. Purpose lasts only in the sequence, never in importance. Let it be the overflow of the first three, not a task that steals them. When you tend in this order, your life stops squeaking. It glides. An old elevator waits at the end of the hall. It has no buttons for floors, only one brass lever labeled depth. Michael smiles. He loves this part. Most take the stairs of hustle to the wrong floor, he says gently. But you, beloved, take depth. Pull the lever just a little. Feel how the room doesn't rush. It enriches. Ideas gain color. Conversations gain honesty. Work gains tone. Relationships gain laughter that lasts past the punchline. Pull the lever again. One more notch. Now the fruits of your private choices begin to show up publicly without you having to point at them with neon signs. This is influence without strain. This is excellence without emergency. You will sense an invitation to give before you feel ready, not because heaven wants to empty you, but because generosity proves you are not afraid of flow. Bless someone anonymously this week. Pay the bill without revealing. Send a gift without your signature. Speak a sentence that makes someone else's courage wake up. You are not losing anything. You are tuning your life to abundance's accent. Closed hands can carry very little. Open hands catch what closed hands call luck. Now, soft instruction. Prepare your threshold. The place you enter and exit every day becomes an altar when you treat it with intention. Place a small reminder where your eyes land. One word on paper. A tidy stone. A leaf. A verse. A line from a psalm that lifts you. As you leave, touch it and breathe. I go with peace. As you return, touch it and breathe. I return with joy. Watch what happens to your comings and goings when they stop being accidental and start being anointed. The ordinary will begin to sparkle where you used to see only chores. This is how a life gets lighter without getting chow. Michael kneels and draws a quiet circle around your feet. As he says as you're here. Inside it, honesty, effort, rest, beauty. Outside it, what you cannot control, lovers, timelines, secret motives, weather, algorithms. You will become fluent in the wisdom of staying inside your circle with dignity while blessing what lives outside it with non-anxious love. This is not passivity. This is power choosing its address. When your peace knows where it lives, your joy knows where to find it in the dark. Before we close this part, perform a simple seal on what you've received. Take a deep breath. Place your hand over your heart and whisper, I will keep my promises to me. Promises like sleeping on time because your dreams have appointments. Drinking water because your future deserves a clear mind. Choosing truthful friendships because your calling cannot ride in cars with counterfeit love. Working the work because inspiration is a teammate, not a babysitter. These small, steady promises build a house that miracles like to visit and stay. If this room held you, if it placed fresh language in your mouth and a gentle engine in your chest, honor the path that led you here. Tap the super thanks and choose the $20 option so we can keep crafting these so bright spaces for you and for the ones who will join you soon. Then whisper amen in the comments, not as magic, but as agreement. So I know you were here, you receive it, and you are ready for the next unfolding. My beloved child, don't move away from this current of grace. Stay right here with me for one more breath, because the moment your spirit whispered yes, the room answered back with a louder yes, and the floor beneath you learned your name. If you are reading this line, heaven has already cued the next scene and the lights are warming. The miracle is not coming from far away like a storm. It is rising within you like dawn learning your window. Michael stands close, quiet, bright, sure, and he gestures to a simple doorway carved with one sentence that rearranges everything. Live like it already happened. Step through with your shoulders soft and your eyes steady. When you walk like the answer is present. The answer loves your walk and keeps pace. There is a low table in this new space, and on it 4 candles are burning with an unhurried glow: completion, clarity, courage, companionship. Watch what happens as you bring your day near each flame. Completion touches your unfinished tasks and their edges stop snagging you. Clarity turns fog into path, not by shouting but by sharpening. Courage sets a gentle fire in your chest that doesn't scorch you. It warms your voice until no becomes as holy as yes. Companionship calls your tribe by name without you chasing them through loud rooms. Let the flames do their work while you do yours, small, beautiful obediences that look ordinary from the outside and look like open gates from heaven's balcony. Walk with me to the shelf that looks like a line of journals. Each spine is stamped with a date and a word you once prayed in secret. Touch 1. It hums back the memory with kindness, not with sting. God is not replaying your pain to punish you. He is letting you feel how completely it has been folded into purpose. Another journal opens on its own and you see receipts, evidence of quiet wins you forgot to celebrate. The day you told the truth kindly, the hour you rested on purpose, the message you sent that stitched a friendship back together, the idea you wrote down even though your hands were shaking. Collect these moments like coins. This is how provision begins, not from air but from attention. When you notice, you multiply. When you bless, you bank. And money, dear heart, is learning your accent. It will start to recognize you in rooms where it once pretended not to know you. There is a bell in the corner that is not rung by hands but by readiness. You feel it lift and land inside your chest as you tidy 1 square foot of your life. That's right, 1 square foot. Fold the shirt. Clear the chair. Rename the file. Finish the paragraph you keep avoiding. Send the message that sounds like closure and feels like a garden gate. Do it with tenderness. Order is not a drill sergeant. Order is a lullaby for your future. As you bring gentleness to the small, watch how the large stops roaring and starts cooperating. This is the algebra of grace. Tiny faithful adds up to obvious favor. Michael points to a simple instrument on the wall. An old clock with no numbers. Only a soft pause. It teaches a new way to count. Not minutes by panic but moments by meaning. He invites you to inhabit the next 3 minutes like a sanctuary. In minute 1, breathe and return to your center with the sentence, I am safe in God's timing. In minute 2, Choose one act that moves the story forward by 2 centimeters. Reply, outline, stretch, drink, pray, delete, clean, forgive. In minute 3, smile without performance and let your body memorize what peace feels like when it's in charge. Repeat these 3 minutes whenever the day tries to sprint. Watch how the sprint becomes a steady glide. The doors ahead love a steady traveler. Come, there's a window that looks out over your future and the glass clears as you approach. You will notice 3 arrivals moving toward you with a calm inevitability. First, an unexpected kindness wrapped in normal clothes. The message that says I thought of you right when you needed proof you weren't invisible. Second, an aligned opportunity that fits like a jacket in your exact size. No tugging, no pretending, no shrinking. You'll know it's yours because you won't need to over-explain your value to enter. Third, a conversation that restores honor to a part of your story that felt mishandled. It may come with words or it may arrive as a settledness that makes words unnecessary. Receive each one without the echoes. Say thank you. Place them on the table with the candles. Let them join the glow. You ask about love, about the shape of safe closeness. Look to the doorway, mark tender boundaries. Inside is a mirror that returns your gaze without critique. It shows you practicing a beautiful skill, saying what you mean the first time kindly and trusting that love which cannot honor your truth is not love that can hold your future. You don't need to be louder. You need to be clear. You don't need to convince, you need to juice. As you honor your truth, the rooms that deserve you will brighten and the rooms that cannot hold you will dim. Neither outcome makes you hard. Both outcomes make you honest. Honesty is how your heart breathes. A small desk waits with 2 tools, a humble quill and a bright stamp. The quill writes this vow across the next page of your life. I will keep my promises to me. Promises like sleeping because destiny enjoys well-rested people. Drinking water because revelation likes clear rivers. Creating before consuming because your voice deserves first light. Giving generously because flow is your native language. Finishing because excellence is love in long form. The stamp seals the vow with today's date. There is nothing fragile here, only faithfulness learning its stride. Now hear the soft curriculum of the coming days woven into one paragraph you can carry in your pocket. Wake with gratitude before your phone opens its mouth. Make your bed like you're telling the day you're ready. Put your feet on the ground and choose one brave atom of action. Feed your kravapimphik in minutes before you feed the feed. Speak one blessing out loud over your home. Touch sunlight if you can. Touch quiet if you can't. Be kind on purpose to one person who cannot repay you. Close what you opened. Let away what you took out. End with a that tucks your soul in. I am held while I sleep. Repeat. Repetition is not dull. Repetition is how beauty becomes furniture. Michael lifts a curtain and reveals a simple path made of small squares. Each tile labeled with a word you can step on without slipping. Truth. Visions. Play. Learning, release. Presence. Joy. You will dance across these not by trying to impress heaven, but by letting heaven impress its calm upon you. If an old thought tries to drag you backward, what if I'm too late? Smile and counter with the sentence that has earned the right to live in your mouth. I'm not late. I'm right on love's schedule. Feel how the ground agrees. The path brightens where your feet land. That glow is not flattery. It is feedback. Keep going. There is one more room before we pause the small studio of announcements where your name is spoken with a tone you have longed to hear. Not as a question. Not as a demand, but as a welcome. Opportunities here do not require you to abandon yourself. They ask you to arrive fully. To offer clean yes and honest numbers. To set prices that tell the truth. To create work that loves people back. Your creativity is not a trick for applause. It is a shelter that others will recognize as home. Build like that. Write like that. Sing. Paint. Teach. Code. Serve like that. When your work becomes a place, your audience becomes a community and your revenue becomes a river. Before we seal this part, perform a tiny act that marks the hinge. Place your hand on your heart and whisper, I agree with the good that's arriving. Then open your hand and release one old sentence into the air. The one that always tried to shriek you at the door. Let it flow away like dust leaving sunlight. In the space it leaves, place this new line. I am trusted with timing. Carry it with you. Tape it where your eyes fall. Let it escort you through calls, calendars, and conversations like a quiet bodyguard with a soft smile. If this continuation steadied your feet and brightened your eyes. If it helped you hold the moment without skipping the very doorway you prayed for. Honor the craft that is honoring you. Tap the super thanks and choose the $20 option so we can keep building these so bright rooms for you and for the ones arriving right behind you. Then drop amen in the comments so I know you were here. You receive it and you are ready for the next unfolding. My beloved child, stay with me inside this hush where the air itself seems to understand you because the instant your spirit leaned forward. The room leaned forward too and everything ordinary began behaving like invitation. Michael is here, quiet as a sunrise that knows its strength, bright as a bridge after rain. And he gestures to a slender corridor line with soft lamps. Each lamp is a memory reclaimed not to haunt you but to honor you. You touch the first lamp and it flickers with the day you kept going when nobody clapped. You touch the second and it glows with the tear you hid so someone else could smile. You touch the third and it burns steady with all the times you told the truth even when your voice felt small. The corridor is not long. It is deep and depth is what carries you now. Walk it slowly. Let your past bow graciously to your present. Let your present bow playfully to your future. This is how wholeness curtsies. Ahead a door gleams with a finish that reminds your palms of safety. On it is written a single sentence that sounds like your grandmother whispering through prayer cloth. Be the quiet that loud blessings love to land in. Push gently. The room beyond is simple, a table, a window, a chair, and yet the simplicity feels royal. The table holds a single bowl of fruit that never seems to run out when you share it. The window looks onto a horizon that refuses to hurry you. The chair fits your back like a hug finally returned. Sit. Listen. The floor hums with a low promise. If you show up, your gift will too. Michael places a small wooden box before you, the kind craftspeople use to store their inks and threads. He nods for you to open it. Inside are 4 folded fabrics labeled with soft gold thread. Gratitude. Order. Generosity. Focus. Lift gratitude first and drape it over your shoulders. Instantly the temperature changes. Small things begin to sparkle without making noise. Not hype. Not look at me. Just a dignified gleam that tells the room you see it and it sees you. Now take order and place it across your lap. It is not scold. It is swords. To-do lists stop feeling like judges and start feeling like kind ushers with lanterns. Next, tie generosity loosely at your wrist. You're not bleeding resources. You're teaching your life to flow. Give a kind word where you once gave silence. Give a small gift where you once waited to be asked. Give yourself 5 extra minutes so you stop arriving breathless to your own miracle. Finally, fold focus over the table in front of you. Watch how the noise loses interest when you stop feeding it your attention. You are not starving the world. You are feeding your calling. The window opens by itself and a breeze enters that smells faintly of new paper and warm bread. That's the scent of fresh instructions and enough for today. You will feel a nudge to finish one small thing in the next little hour. Not everything. Just one hinge piece that helps the door swing. Reply to the one email that matters. Polish the paragraph that says it all. Clear the chair so your body remembers what readiness feels like. Put the phone away long enough to hear your own life. These are not church, these are choreography. When the simple is faithful, the significant is easy. You ask how love will find you with this new becoming, and the room smiles. Love is not lost. It is precise. It will meet you where your peace lies, not where your panic used to camp. It will sound like laughter that rests in the throat instead of proving itself out loud. It will look like plans that do not require you to apologize for your boundaries. It will feel like 2 hands carrying one future without dropping either person's soul. And if loneliness visits, and sometimes it visits palaces and cabins alike, offer it a seat by the window and a mud of kindness, then get back to your making. You do not heal loneliness by shrinking your truth to fit small rooms, you heal it by living your truth until the right rooms recognize your shape. Michael touches the table and a map appears, not of streets but of moments. Circles pulse gently over coming days, a conversation that tastes like restoration, an introduction that arrives without hustle, a creative streak that runs like a river finally unblocked. Do not chase these circles, stand ready for them. There is a difference between hunting blessings and hosting them, and you are becoming a host whose home feels like sanctuary to everything good. Keep a small notebook nearby, title it Evidence, and let it collect simple sentences. I woke up lighter. I finished what I started. I told the truth first. I let someone be kind without talking them out of it. Watch that knob thicken. That is not luck, that is alignment turning into language. A bell rings somewhere gentle, and the chair releases you with affection. Another doorway opens, this one trimmed in laughter. Inside is a low platform with soft shoes waiting, the kind dancers wear when they are done performing and ready to practice. Practice is the love language of miracles. You will practice small beginnings daily, not as punishment but as praise. 10 honest minutes with your craft before the world asks 100 questions. 5 minutes of stretch so the body believes it belongs in your bright future. A glass of water before you ask your mind to carry mountains. A blessing spoken over the rooms you occupy so the rooms remember they are allowed to be kind. Repeat. Let repetition become revelation with manners. In the corner stands a mirror that does not repeat your face, it repeats your promises back to you until they fit. Whisper them. I show up for my gift, I keep my promises to me. I hold joy without dropping wisdom. I let money serve me, not steer me, I finish softly. The mirror nods and sends those sentences into the bones. Bones remember, that's why some days you will feel strong before you have proof. Groove will come, but strength is allowed to arrive first. There is a piano no one forced into the room. It grew there like a patient tree. Sit and place your hands where the wood is warm. Your life has a melody and you are learning its chords, a bass line of steady choices, a middle voice of kindness that refuses sarcasm, a melody of courage that does not shout to be heard. When fear tries to improvise dissonance, smile and return to the theme. I am trusted with timing. Play it until the room sings along. Rooms learn too. Michael brings a tray with 2 cups, one labeled receive, one labeled release. Sip receive first and let compliments land without knocking them to the floor with jokes. Let opportunities be easy sometimes. Lay help be holy. Then sip release and watch how old guilt loosens its laces. You do not owe endless explanations to people who benefit from your confusion. You owe clarity to your calling. You owe gentleness to yourself. You owe gratitude to the God who did not rush you but still arrived on time. You will feel a sudden desire to bless your doorway, the literal one. Put a tiny reminder there, a word on a card, a flower, a small stone that remembers the river. Touch it when you leave and say, I go with peace. Touch it when you return and say, I come back with joy. You will be amazed how often your day obeys the tone you set at the threshold. This is not superstition, this is stewardship. Thresholds are where days learn their manner. A last gift before we pause, a sentence you can carry when the world tugs at your sleeve, asking you to speed up beyond wisdom. I refuse to hurry what heaven is handling. Say it softly as you tie your shoes. Say it kindly when you schedule your week. Say it smiling when you decline good things to cradle the right thing. Each time you say it, your future hears you and straightens the path a little more. Now look at me, beloved. The shine in your eyes is not borrowed, it's native. The steadiness in your voice is not bravado, it's belonging. These in your shoulders is not laziness, it's loyalty to peace. Michael's armor doesn't clang anymore, it glows. He nods like a master craftsman witnessing the form he always imagined step into breath and color. This, he says, and his sounds like brass warmed by sun, is the you heaven knew. And you answer with a gentle grin you've earned. This is the me I'm learning to keep. If this continuation held your heart, if it placed language in your mouth and calm in your chest, Honor what honored you so we can keep building these soul-bright rooms for you and for the ones arriving behind you. Tap the super thanks and choose the $20 option. Then whisper Amen in the comments, not as magic, but as agreement. So I know you were here, you received, and you are ready for the next unfolding.